So it's surface area of a cone for today. So a cone is a solid with the base that is a circle. The altitude, the height, or sometimes they even call it the axis, to make sure that you're familiar with these words. Okay, so the altitude, the height, or the axis is the perpendicular segment that goes from the vertex to the base. So AO, for example, that line segment AO is considered the altitude or the height or the axis. The slant height is the shortest line segment that can be drawn from the vertex to any point on the circular base. So the slant height, which we call L, happens to be AB, and again we call slant height L. So the lateral area of a right circular cone is equal to half the product of the slant height and the circumference of the base. Well, slant height we already know to be L, and the lateral area they're saying is 1/2 of L, but the circumference of the base, being that it's a circle, and using the circumference in terms of pi, would be 1/2 L times 2 pi r. But that could be simplified further because 1/2 times 2 just cancel each other out, and lateral area then becomes just pi RL. What's nice about the lateral area formula is they give that to you on the Regents reference sheet. They don't give you the surface area formula, but that should be pretty easy because the surface area is the sum of the lateral area plus the area of the base. Well, the base is just a circle. So surface area really then becomes pi RL, lateral area, plus pi r squared, area of the base. So those are the two formulas that you need to have. If the lateral area of a right circular cone is 60 pi and its slant height is 10, what's the surface area? Well, for surface area to be figured out, we need to have pi RL, which we have the lateral area, plus pi r squared. What we're missing is the radius, so that has to be found. So finding the radius should be pretty easy also, because you know that the lateral area happens to be 60 pi. So if we set 60 pi equal to pi RL, and we solve for, oh, back up for 1 second, we know the slant height too. Let me change L. The slant height we know to be 10. So then we've got actually 60 pi equaling 10 pi r. We can divide both sides by 10 pi. And then you're just left with the radius being 6. Now we can move to the surface area formula. So then for surface area, we already know that the lateral area is 60 pi plus pi, 6 squared, radius squared. We then get 60 pi plus 36 pi, or surface area equals 96 pi. Its area, we need to label it. We don't have any units, so then we'll just call it units squared. Surface area, 96 pi units squared. Okay. Next example. The axis, that's the height, don't forget. The axis of the right circular cone is 12 centimeters, and the diameter of the base is 10. Diameter is 10. Find the lateral area and the total surface area. Well, to find the lateral area, we need to have pi RL. We're missing two things. We're missing the radius and the slant height, the L. We know that if the diameter is 10, though, then the radius must be half of that, or 5. And we also know that the axis makes a right angle. So either Pythagorean theorem or triples, Pythagorean triples, will help us find that slant height. I already know that it's a triple, so we're looking for 5, 12, and 13. So that's your slant height. Again, feel free to Pythagorean theorem if you're not sure of your triple. So then what happens is lateral area equals pi times the radius, which we know is 5, times the slant height, which we know is 13. And then that's going to give you the answer of lateral area being 65 pi centimeters squared. Surface area, just as easy, right? So surface area then becomes the lateral area plus pi r squared, the area of the base, which we know is 65 pi lateral area plus 25 pi, right, 5 squared, for the area of the space, and then surface area becomes a total of 90 pi centimeters squared. They have yet to ask us to round anything, so keep everything in exact answers. Last example. Find the lateral area and the total surface area. Again, now what they're giving you is the axis and the slant height, but you don't have the radius. Again, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, Pythagorean theorem or Pythagorean triple. Triple is much faster. In this case, hopefully you know that Pythagorean triple will be 8, 15, 17. If not, go into Pythagorean theorem, not a big deal. Lateral area, pi RL. No big deal. I've got pi. My radius we know is 8. That was the triple that we found, and the slant height is 17. The lateral area comes out to be 136. Do we have units? And we don't. So, pi, 136 pi. Sorry about that. Units squared. And then last but not least, let's try to find the surface area. And then the surface area becomes the lateral area, 136 pi, plus the area of the base. That's going to be 64 pi. Don't forget, pi r squared, 64, 8 squared. And then you get your surface area with a total of 200 pi units squared. And that's it. So again, the important thing to remember is that the lateral area is pi RL. Again, that's given to you in the Regents reference sheet. And then the surface area is pi RL plus pi r squared. You should be good to do the homework. I'll see you guys tomorrow.